I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It's the Daily Puck Drop here on a Friday, broadcasting from the Limback Lumber Studios. It's a Football Friday Tailgate Show. All brought to you by Georgetown Brewery and Flat Stick Pub inside the Limback Lumber Studios. Contractors are going to take care of you. They're going to offer free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. Give them a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them at limbacklumber.com. Lots and lots of football today. Of course, you can always follow me on all the social media platforms. If you don't know, X, Instagram, and Blue Sky at PuckSports. Puck_sports on TikTok, and you can find everything up at PuckSports.com, including signing up to become a member of the Puck's Posse, which gives you bonus shows every single week, plus the support of the Daily Puck Drop and Puck Sports. Also, when you're at PuckSports.com, sign up Puck Survivor, our new NFL Survivor pool. You have until the Monday night game to get in and win fabulous prizes. $500 grand prize. Second place, John Howie steak. Third place, gift card to Georgetown Brewery. Fourth place, gift card to Flat Stick Pub. Well, on our Football Friday Tailgate Show, again, brought to you by Flat Stick Pub and Georgetown Brewery, we welcome in on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays the one and only, the great Jim Moore, the go-to guy, who is brought to you by an army of advertisers.
Yeah, I'm dealing with some issues this morning, Puck. I left the window open in my shed and the sprinkler went off this morning. And so I had some technical difficulties, but I'm happy to be joining you again. And thanks to the latest sponsor of my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday appearances with Puck, the Angry Beaver in Greenwood, a Seattle favorite for years. Now owned by a Coug, Matt Baker, who's turned the Angry Beaver into an official WSU watch party destination. Tomorrow night, 7:15 against San Diego State, the Angry Beaver, with 13 TVs, many beers on tap. And he's got Old Crimson Lager in cans for you, too. So check out the Angry Beaver in Greenwood for the best brisket in town and the next Kraken game as well. Also want to thank another Coug, Brad Brotherton from Brotherton Cadillac, Northwest and Shoreline, and Brotherton Buick GMC and Brotherton Cadillac in Renton. Whether you're shopping for Cadillac, Buick, or GMC, Brotherton will make it a simple, comfortable, and fun experience. They're proud to be fourth-generation Cougs and a fourth-generation family-owned dealership at Brotherton Cadillac and Brotherton Buick GMC. Visit them in Shoreline or Renton or online at brothertonauto.com. And last and certainly never least, a special thanks to my first sponsor, Brian Turner, from A Clean Streak in Oak Harbor. He also has a professional Christmas lighting business. Puck knows all about this, Bright Owl Lighting. And Puck can vouch for the terrific job Brian and his crew did when they decorated his house last year. Commercial or residential, Bright Owl Lighting can do the job for you. Extending from Island and Skagit counties and as far south as King County, depending on the size of the job. Just call 360-675-2034 for a free estimate or visit brightowllighting.com.
Big thanks to all of the fabulous sponsors here on the Daily Puck Drop and Puck Sports. It's a Friday football tailgate show. My God, there's two. I don't know if we're going to fit this all in the next 90 minutes or so. Chris Egan will join us momentarily. Bottom of the hour, as well as Egan always joins us every week. Now we've bumped him up a little bit to join us a little bit earlier. So Egan's with us from King 5. It's a Friday staple. Joining us at the bottom of the hour is our good friend Todd Milles. And I mean, I cannot wait to talk to Todd. I love high school sports. I love high school football. Todd has got a new venture right now, varsitywanews.com. You can follow that on Twitter or X, Varsity News or Varsity Wa News. He's got a YouTube channel, Varsity Wa News. The new Substack, again, varsitywanews.com. It's basically dedicated all things high school sports. And I'm telling you, it's $6 a month. It's the best money you're going to ever spend. Don't spend it on me. Don't spend it on Jim. Spend it on Todd. This guy is pumping out stuff left and right. Now, it's amazing. And coverage in this area, John Manley does a terrific job at the News Tribune. And with Todd and Ian,
and that's it, though.
Egan, that is it. But Todd this is just exactly what I want. And you go to that website right now. And if you're a high school football fan, he's got everything. It's not even just a breakdown of 4A. It's a breakdown of 3A, 2A, 1A, all the conferences, all the top players. So I can't wait to talk to Todd coming up at the bottom of the hour. 10:45-ish or so. Our handicapper is back. Troy Wins from TroyWins.com. So we'll get you covered for college football and the NFL. Bobby Condotta. I caught up with Bob. We'll catch up with Bob on Fridays. He'll join the program around 11-ish or so. And then we'll wrap it all up. I don't know how we're going to fit it all in, but we're going to try. And
do you have a time constraint at all? I mean, you could go till 1 o'clock if you wanted.
I don't want to go to 1 o'clock. I put a personal governor on
there's
myself.
like a newspaper copy or something, and you have to cut it at 18 inches or something.
No, but I've learned in this one, the reason we go to 11:30, like an hour, 90 minutes, that's a 3-hour radio show, by the way. If you take out all the commercials. I mean, listen, we read ads.
My commercial went about 2 minutes today.
No, but we read 2 minutes out of 90 minutes, opposed to commercials 3 times an hour at 8.5 minutes. I mean, do the math.
Well, I remember we used to sit there and we'd be like, "Are we ever going to come back?"
The commercials were longer than the segment.
They were.
For God's sakes. But so I understand. You got to make a living. I get it. But this is the biggest story. There's so much to cover, right? We got Mariners are back in action tonight. Seahawks kicking off. Cougs tomorrow. Puppies tomorrow. All of it. But this is the best story of the day. Have you seen this? You and I can own this. The Cougar football helmet, which they used to drive around the stadium, just like, remember the Seahawks used to have this too? And I think the Huskies did. The Huskies still have theirs?
Yeah, I think they still got that thing of theirs. When
we can own this. We can own this.
I saw that the bids are starting at $800. So that's affordable for you and me to just like blow 800 on a Coug helmet car.
It just started 9 minutes ago. Started at 800. You can email bids can be sent to I wish there was something I could follow it and see the bids. I don't like that. I've got to email my bid. They kind of really screwed this up, but whatever. I would like to see.
We couged it even with the car we're trying.
I'd like to see what it is. I want to see what people are bidding. So I can up them. But if you want to bid on this beauty, I would drive that around the neighborhood. You can email surplus@wsu.edu.
Why are we selling it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I wonder, why are we not driving this around? God, I want this so bad. So bad.
Well, how far will you go? Would you go to $2,000?
Yeah, I think I would.
God, 20. Well, that sounds like you maybe go to 2,500 even.
Well, if I go to 2,500, I go to 3,000. Just keep going.
Yeah,
God,
take the Tommy Fleetwood money and turn it into that.
You know what though, and that would be the irresponsible thing. What I need to do with my Tommy Fleetwood money is go pay down that Alaska Airlines credit card.
No,
that's what I need to do.
No.
Well, you know what?
When you win golf money, you're not paying for your kids' education. You're not paying bills. You're not paying off credit cards. You're blowing it on something like that Cougar car. And like I did, getting, a bunch of TVs and having an outdoor setup.
Yeah, but I don't want to be broke like you.
Well, that's all right though. You'll get Social Security someday. It's not bad. Hey, like 1,900 shows up every month, and it's just like, wonderful. Thank you, God.
But look at that. Wouldn't you love that thing? Oh my God.
I would love that, but I have a feeling what's the over under on what it sells for? I'd say probably $5,000 because there's going to be some kook booster that's like, what the hell, man? I want that toy. And
it's just perfect. And then someone's going to buy it and then soup it all up, and then that's going to be the tailgate.
Yeah,
they're going to take that to a tailgate. I mean, that's beautiful. God, I love that.
So wait a minute. So I got to ask you something. So you're sitting there worried about getting over by 11:30. And there's some people out there that are probably going like, God, I can't believe Puck's wasting our time and his time and Jim's time talking about this Cougar car. Although you're not wasting my time or your time. But you might be wasting some Husky fans' time right now.
Yeah, and I apologize to the crowd that is just listening. Sometimes I forget that. I forget that we're also primarily an audio medium. So there is a what I was sharing for the video crowd is the Cougars are auctioning off their football car helmet that they drive around the stadium. They're auctioning that off. You go back to the YouTube show and you can see it. But I forget that sometimes.
Well, never mind that Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott, or that the Seahawks are playing the 49ers, or the Mariners are facing Chris Sale. Everybody's wondering about Harry Ford when he's going to play. Never mind that stuff. The Cougar car's for sale.
It's more important to me. I mean, we could have led the show off of you trashing Shannon Drayer, but I didn't do that.
Hey, I'm going to change the subject right now.
No, you're not, because I got Chris Egan waiting.
Oh, okay. Well, I just real quick, I'm wearing a hoodie today in Bob Condotta's honor. All right. Because he's always wearing hoodies.
It's funny because I don't know if Bob Condotta was wearing a hoodie on the appearance today, because much like you, Bob Condotta had a camera issue. So we had to go old school and record it on a phone.
You know what I hear that I just really enjoy is that Condotta has more issues than I do, technologically speaking.
Oh, by far and away. It's not even.
And then even Sorensen, he sucks at it too.
No, he's better than you.
He's not better than me.
He's better than you.
You had to wait like an hour for his bullshit to download, when he was telling us how I know the team. I mean, okay, Paul. Okay.
I've had to wait a lifetime for you. All right. On Fridays, he joins us, and this is his bread and butter, because we're into it now. Friday Night Lights, our Friday Football Tailgate Show, brought to you by Flat Stick Pub and Georgetown Brewery. Not complete without the one and only. The man bleeds high school sports from King 5, Chris Egan, who is pounding right now a Diet Coke in bourbon, because that's the only way he covers high school sports, is drunk.
Well, Buck, that's the way you do it. All these high school parents are going to want their kid featured. So, if you've had a bourbon and Coke, it just makes it easier to, whatever, sure.
Hey, when you're at the game tonight, OJ and Graham Kapowsin, for the I'm holding up a Yeti mug. How many Yeti mugs will you see in the stands tonight from some shit-faced parents, huh?
The over and under there is usually plus 25 in the parents section. Plus 25. Quick debate for you and Jim, because I was just getting yelled at for my wife as I'm enjoying a Diet Coke, really healthy diet here. And my mother-in-law, guys, this plate used to be full. It's a blueberry zucchini bread scone with frosting over the top.
Oh.
And the fact that there's zucchini and blueberry to me means that's a go-to item for breakfast. And my wife's like, "You're having dessert for breakfast?" I go, "Oh, no. There's blueberries in here, honey. I don't. That's a breakfast item.
Zucchini's healthy too.
And zucchini. Thank you, Jim. So she's all getting on me about, eating this, and then the fair is open right now. So I'm just putting a lot of bad food down me right now, but I'm enjoying life. So I'm just going to,
Sidebar.
Does she think you're fat or something?
Probably, Jim. That's probably a nice way of saying maybe you've gained a little bit. But my thing is always the belt and the suit. If the belt and the suit still fit, you can't quit. Keep doing it.
Hey, how many times already have you been to the fair?
I'm going to be honest with you, Puck. I have not been once yet. Okay. It's just been. I was coming off of a 7-8 straight days of anchoring because Paul Sylvie had to get a little getaway time before the football season, and I decided. I know people in Puyallup are going to be like, "Oh my God, is he really saying this?" When you're from Puyallup, the fair gets a little crowded. So I decided, honey, it's date night. Let's get away from the fair.
Sure.
So we went to a little place called, one of our favorite little spots called Katy Downs in Tacoma. Got ourselves a little Mai Pie and salad there. And just
Katy Downs, nice, right on the water.
Right on the water, Jim. Just, got myself a couple beers, just sit back, just a nice date night with the wife and just chatting away. And it was good.
I saw the picture. I saw the picture of the two drinks, and I assumed the Pinot Gris was yours.
No, I do not do the Pinot Gris was Mel's. I had the beer, Puck. But I will say this. I will be there Monday night to watch 38 Special. Good friend of mine, Gary Tucci, a diehard Cougar. I mean, he goes to every game. He's about as diehard Cougar as you get. Has invited me to the I believe it's the fair board. You get you go up, have a little fair board dinner before, and then you go into the box seats, and we'll be watching 38 special there.
High roller. Tell
Yeah,
everyone, hey, Jim, do you know what Chris Egan is doing tonight? Are you aware of what he's about to take on this football season?
He's doing play-by-play, and we can watch it streaming somewhere if we can figure out how to stream it.
What are the odds you figure out how to stream the game tonight?
The odds are 0 because I won't care enough about the game. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. No, Jim. Jim, it's you said it. Everything is streaming now, and it's the fact is, my wife and I felt really old because we went to Xfinity and Comcast to get all the new boxes, and we tried to put them in, and all we've done is just mess up our entire house. I don't even know if we have wireless right now. The TVs are not working. We were trying to download things. They need to have a store where you can hire a kid just to come to your house and do this.
I'm sure they have that
somewhere, because I need help. I need help downloading the app. But yeah, tonight we've always done the big game for 15 to 20 years, where we go there, we do a 5 o'clock pregame hit, and then we do a 6:30 pregame show, and we pump up the game. But we've never aired the game, and then we do extensive highlights at 10 and 11, and it's been great. It's been very successful. But through the years, everybody's like, it would be fun if we could see the whole game. So I mentioned this 3 years ago at King 5, and everybody kind of was like, no, let's not do it. And be careful what you mention to do, because this year they're like, Egan, let's do it. So here we go. We're going to try it tonight. And I've literally, from all my experience of TV, look at this. I've even got my big board. I got a big board going right here.
Who's going to be your color analyst?
Well, that's the problem, Jim. It's going to be a special guest at every game, so I'm not going to really build that. I'm looking forward to maybe Jason Puckett joining me for a couple of games.
I'm in.
Todd Milles will join me tonight in the second quarter. Here's also a way of giving back a little. I'm going to tell the schools. I told GK tonight, like, if you have a young broadcast, if you have a broadcasting class, a journalism class, kids interested in sports, they can come up and join me in the booth as well for a quarter. And so, yeah, we're going to just have some fun. And but I know people take a lot of shots at play-by-play people on Seahawks, Kraken, Mariners. And I'll just say this.
We're coming after you tonight.
Until you do it. No, and that's why I'm taking shots at no one. But thank goodness, in my work with you, Jason and Jim, through the years, I've been able to fill time. So I'm not worried about, just if there's not going to be a lot of dead moments on the air tonight. I mean, you're gonna see me do a lot of breaking down, the Bethel School District area, Graham Kapowson, maybe a trip to Ohop Lake back in the 80s. I mean, we're going to give you a little geography along with football.
I'll bet you could feel for the crew last night doing the Eagles-Cowboys game when they had the weather delay of an hour and 5 minutes, and they had to, what do we call it, vamp? I mean, they had to just make up stuff to talk about for an hour and 5 minutes. It was impressive what they did.
They were great. And when you're not ready for it, that's the problem is when you're just, you're always told to be prepped for that. But that was a long delay last night. We had Spitgate last night. I don't know what's going on with spitting. That's 2 spitting incidents in less than a week now, from the Sounders game to the.
So do we think Dak Prescott spit on him or spit at him? Because there's a second video that shows him spitting. Do we think that was in the direction of Jalen Carter or not?
Puck, did you hear the post game on NBC last night?
No.
He was spinning down at his own offensive lineman, just spitting.
Okay.
Is what Dak says. And he thinks that he saw him look like he was spitting towards him. And Dak says he was just spitting down on the ground.
Did Carter think he was spit on?
Carter thought he was spitting at him.
Well, spit away.
And that's why he went after him.
Nothing like that. Was a weird one. Yeah. I mean, it was like 5 seconds into the game. I was watching it afterwards. I had recorded it to watch it after the fact. But here's what my biggest takeaway from the game was. What the hell does Jack Collins bring to the broadcast?
Yeah.
Which guy is he?
He's Chris
is he
Collins.
The one kind of to the right of Maria Tyler?
No, it's Taylor. No, it's he's not even the A group. He's like the group that's with Dungy and what's his name?
Oh, Collinsworth's kid?
Yeah. What does he do? He's on camera for like 30 seconds. And all I wonder every week when I see him is how much money is he getting paid?
Too much. And you know who I don't think gets paid enough, Puck, is he jumps on a former radio station of yours too. But I had soccer practice last night. I listened to the game on the radio. I love Kevin Harlan. I mean, I can see myself tonight, Puck, as I'm trying to look at examples of people to do, and that's, here they come, O'Day, the Fighting Irish. They've got their maroon pants on with a yellow striping down the side.
Yeah,
they've got their old O'Day maroon jerseys and a maroon helmet. Monty Kohler with a white polo shirt, looks like bought in 1984 from Mervyn's with an O'Day Fighting Irish logo on the side, and on the other side it's Grand Capous in their home whites with a shiny orange and blue. I mean, I just think Harlan is
I
awesome.
remember Mervyn's.
Yeah, you remember Mervyn's and the Squire Shop and all those good places, and that's where I'm going to go right now, guys. Transition before I break away from this game is Monty Kohler will be trying to break a record tonight, guys. And
okay, but before you do that, though, you got to you're going to air the game. O'Day and Graham Kapowski.
Yeah,
I don't want to forget, and I know, but where can people stream it?
You have to download the King 5 Plus app.
King 5 Plus app.
King 5 Plus app, and then you can watch it for free. We'll continue to have all the highlights on King 5 on TV on channel 5 and 6, and then Puck in the wonderful world of streaming and downloading. I'm pretty sure the King 5 digital team will have this game on replay on King 5 Plus and probably on YouTube as well, because I know a lot of the kids are on YouTube, and a lot of these kids are going to be watching this thing, when they get home. They won't be obviously watching during the game. So,
and then tell everyone why tonight's game is so big for O'Day.
Well, tonight, I mean, you have Monty Kohler, and this is somebody that has been coaching since 1985 at O'Day. And I think last year, some people thought it was going to be the Bellevue Wolverines' year to win the state title. They won it the year before that. Bellevue was very good. O'Day kind of quietly found themselves into the state championship game at Husky Stadium, and Monty and O'Day won that state title game. And with that win, he tied the great Sid Otten for the most wins in state history for a high school football coach. I want to get the exact numbers down there for you, Puck and Jim. He picked up his 394th win last year in that state championship game. So going into tonight, Sid Otten, the Tumwater legend, his kids were great football players. His son was a great coach. Of course, we know about his grandkids and what they've done at UW and in the NFL. But right now, Sid and Monty tied at 394. If Monty and O'Day get a win tonight, he goes to 395, and he stands alone by himself as the winningest coach in state history. But here's where I applaud O'Day. Here's where I applaud GK. They're not going out of the gates and let's get an easy win right out of the gate. These are two of the top programs in the state. Jeff Logan took over for Eric Curley in 2022. He's done a phenomenal job. GK is a team that's always in the state playoffs. I believe they won the state title in 2021 or 2022. In fact, you guys saw the quarterback, Josh Wood, for Idaho, who led GK to that undefeated season. So it's going to be a fun one tonight. It's not going to be an easy game for them. So, but we could have a little history there at Art Crate Stadium tonight. So,
yeah, I can't believe that he's been coaching that long, because I remember I was covering high school football back in 1989, and to think that he had only been there 4 years and he's continued for 40 years. Monty Kohler, how's he feel about the record? Have you gotten a feel about his legendary status from him?
I've texted him a couple of times, and we were going to do a sit down with him this week, and I'm thinking we're going to do it next week, because we're just like, you know what, we want to be there and get all these moments tonight. If it does happen, and it may not happen because GK is very good. But every time I talk to Monty, he's the same old humble guy. He does not want to make it about himself, even though I keep telling him when you have this many wins, you've done something right. And he will tell you the same story. He's surrounded himself with some great coaches. I mean, anybody listening, yes, they are a private school. They have kids that come from all over the state that come there, but they don't come there unless you have a program that's good. I
Sure.
mean, the kids have choices now. So, and they wouldn't come there unless he's built something. He builds these kids tougher, stronger, not only on the football field, but in class and when they go out and hit life. So, I mean, he's done a phenomenal job at O'Dea. He's also the athletic director there. So what he's done at O'Dea, absolutely amazing. I mean, as we speak today, Mike Heward was the grand marshal of the Washington State Fair. Mike Heward led the Vikings to a state championship, got them there a couple times. But I'm like, city of Seattle, wake up! You got a living legend right there in downtown Seattle. I think this guy can't be honored enough for what he's done for kids in high school sports, and he's always been on the front of concussions and safeties and rule changes and all that stuff. And so I can't applaud him tonight, but it's like I said, Jeff Logan and GK, they're not going to say, hey, here you go, coach. Here's the win. It's going to be a battle.
Yeah, you don't want to be the team that someone breaks a record against.
Well, and Jim, I'm going to my big board here, and the name I'm going to be calling.
I want to see the big board. I want to see what name's going to give you trouble tonight.
Well, it's right here, and I have to say it a lot. Sophomore quarterback for Graham Kapowson. That's AJ Tui Vai. That's Tui Vai Ave.
I remember
Tui Vai Ave.
Yeah, I remember we did his game last year. Tui. Yeah, I can't say it.
No, and Puck, I have a feeling. Second play in. AJ dropping back. What a
That's
pass
okay.
from AJ.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
You just have to say it once, right? You just have to say the last name one time, right?
AJ, great pass by AJ into the flat. I can't wait. Are you going to do it as Chris Egan? Is there a way tonight that you morph into as you're calling O'Dea and Graham Kapowson on the King 5 Plus app, by the way? Can you morph into Keith Jackson?
I think it's only fair to the kids to have a little Keith Jackson. I mean, there's going to be, you're going to hear a little Kevin Harlan coming out. You're going to hear some Keith Jackson. I mean, you're going to hear, Nelly, 3rd and 15 for the GK Eagles. They're down 7 to the O'Dea Fighting Irish. Douglas Peterson at center right now. He's got to get the team together. He gets them together. AJ Tuivai of Ade. Looking deep, and there he's got him. Muzi Roberson. So we're gonna
let's hear some Harlan. I haven't heard your Harlan before.
Well, that's where I was doing the painting the picture. I think Harlan does a great job, Jim, of welcome to our great stadium. The grass looks like it's cut great. It's green in a crisscross fashion, and he's just a very good.
He over-describes it. He over-describes it at times. 3rd down and 10. He looks left. He looks right. He drops back, plants the right foot, throws left, ball in the air, ball caught inbounds. But he's great at it.
He's fun because you're listening to him a lot of times on radio, and he makes it like you're right there. So he does a good job. So
we're gonna catch up with Todd Milles in a second and talk more little high school sports and then promote what Todd's got going on right now in covering high school sports. Real quick though, before we talk to Todd, and I apologize, I'm going to give you just like 30 seconds on this one. I did want to ask you this: Sue Bird's going to go in the Hall of Fame this weekend. I mean, you're talking about one of the all-time winners in sports. I was looking this up today. Or I was reading Percy Allen's story. 51-3 high school, 114-4 at UConn, 59-1 in international play, 367 wins in the WNBA and 4 championships. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I've had the pleasure to cover Sue. I came to Seattle. I mean, grew up in Puyallup and went Klamath Falls, Medford, Boise, and I've been in Seattle for 25 years. So when I came into Seattle, that's when basically Sue Bird started her career with the Storm. We used to have a station called Northwest Cable News. Paul Sylvie and I would do a show called Northwest Sports Tonight. It was a half-hour show, and we probably had Sue Bird on that show every other week. And she would she'd come over from practice and come into the studio. And this is the one thing that's just incredible to me about Sue Bird. From that day one, 25 years ago, to where she's at now. with a statue, with WNBA championships, with five Olympic gold medals. She's not changed a bit. And that's what I love about Sue. Sue has been Sue, and she is, I mean, I don't know right now how you can argue that Sue Bird is not the greatest athlete to come out of the city of Seattle with her resume and what she has done. I don't know how you could argue right now that Brian Spencer is not the greatest coach to come out of Seattle when you look at their resume and what they've done. Now, I know there's going to be people on here that are going to say, oh, it's women's basketball, oh, it's soccer. You know what? It's professional sports. And what Sue has done is unremarkable. And she's done it, guys, with different coaches, different players, different teams, Team USA, Seattle Storm. And she's done it with class, which I love. There's a story of a young girl from Olympia. And guys, I did this story a long time ago, and I feel bad. I cannot remember her name, but she was a basketball player, got in a car accident, pretty much sidelined her dreams of playing basketball. And she always wanted to meet Sue Bird. And I remember Bird like, yes, get her to a game, get her here. But it wasn't the old take a picture, sign an autograph. It was like Sue and this girl, the girl was wheeled in a wheelchair. And Sue just, I mean, it just made this girl's day. I mean, was just with her, by her side. And there are hundreds of stories of Sue Bird. I mean, I remember her coming down Boys and Girls Club in Tacoma for an afternoon, just drilling the kids. So for me, I've been here 25 years. And yes, I've dealt with Griffey. I've dealt with Peyton. I've dealt with Sean Kemp, Russell Wilson, the LOB, but for me, I don't know how you say she's not the greatest.
Well said. Yeah, going to the Hall of Fame this weekend. Terrific write-up in the paper, special section, I think was came out the other day there by Percy Allen and others. All right, this is a thrill for us because, all three of us love this guy. We love him. I mean, love him dearly. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been covering high school sports forever for a bunch of different publications. He's got a new venture right now. Todd Milles joins us. You can follow him on social media. His personal one, Mini Hats Milles. He now has started VarsityWaNews.com, a website that is dedicated to covering high school sports. And when I tell you, don't spend money on Jim and I, because we don't do anything. You go spend the money on this site because this guy has got stuff left and right all the time. It's unbelievable. You can also follow it on X, Varsity Wa News. He's got a YouTube channel as well, Varsity Wa News, and he's with us here on the Daily Puck Drop. Todd, I'm telling you, man, we're gonna praise you for a quick second. I'm gonna praise you. It is a fantastic website. We talked earlier. It is great. The amount of content you already have up there. If you are a high school football fan and just high school athletics fan, you have knocked this absolutely out of the park. It looks phenomenal. Why did you start it, and why was it so important to you to start it?
Well, geez, thanks for the introduction, guys. I used to think for a long time I was a golf writer, but I don't mind being the high school writer in Washington State. No, I was, as you guys know, I was with SB Live, which is under the Sports Illustrated umbrella for 6 years, and it was a lot of fun, expanding the coverage area from my days at the Tacoma News Tribune. And Andy Bueller and I, we were sort of the flagship station for Scorebook Live Washington, and did a lot of really good things. Got to experiment a lot with what worked with readers and viewers, and what didn't. Scorebook Live wanted to go a different direction. They wanted to become more national. I didn't want to be a national aggregator for Modern Day Football and DeSoto Football and IMG Academy Football. I don't know anything about those program guys, but I do know that we have some pretty good football and basketball and baseball and softball and wrestling in Washington. And so we split in June, and lo and behold, sought some counsel from Christian Capel, who has a very good, very successful Substack website covering the Washington Huskies, and asked him, as an old newspaper guy, what's the good and what's the bad, and decided to go for it. I have a partner in crime, Lauren Smith, who used to work at the Tacoma News Tribune and most recently with The Athletic. And she does a great job. She's the multimedia wizard, does the things, fills in the gaps that I'm just lagging behind on. But we make a pretty good team, and I think we're off to a pretty good start. So I hope it catches fire, and I hope people like what they see.
Hey, Todd, how are you going to do this? I mean, it sounds like you're going to try and cover it statewide, and there's all kinds of classifications. So it's, I imagine it's not a 40-hour work week anymore for you.
I don't even know what a 40-hour work week is. I don't know if any of us know what a 40-hour work week are.
Well, Jim does it because he never touches it. So.
Was that necessary?
Were you getting in 40 hours?
We're supposed to be talking to Todd right now. Okay, it's his turn. All right.
Oh, okay.
Go Cougs, by the way, Todd.
Were you 40 hours as the golf course starter? Was that a 40-hour week job?
No, I didn't know. It was only like 6 or 7, and it didn't last long.
Oh, darn it. So
another unfair firing, I must add.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Is it a little different, being in Bothell one night and Royal City the next? Yeah, but I kind of got used to that at Scorebook Live. It's long hours, but it's not stressful hours. And damn, I'm a sports writer. I'm not doing other stuff. So 50 hours of being a sports writer is probably a little more, I don't know, stress-free, enjoyable than the regular, I used to sell dry ice and burn my arms all the time when I was going through college. If I was still doing that, 40 hours seemed like a lot, but as a sports writer, it doesn't seem like much. So, but yeah, I'll take a lot of what I was doing at Scorebook Live and apply it to Varsity Wa News with a couple extra things. We're going to do a Friday night, podcast like the old KJ-Arent sports radio days, where, I think there's a lot of people that are jacked up after Friday night football and want to talk about it and want to hear about it. And we're going to do that. That's going to be a new addition. So yeah, hopefully the variety, you'll find something in the variety of what we do to subscribe, and $6 a month, $60 a year. By the end of it, it'll cost you $1.25 per post. So if you go the year route, so I'm really excited about it, and I hope people are excited about it too.
Todd, I'm signing up because I just spent $7.88 for my Dutch Brothers Ice Mocha, so why wouldn't I? I mean, everybody out there listening, why wouldn't just say maybe take one day off from the Dutch Bros and get yourself, Todd? I seriously am jumping on. You use the word enjoyable covering high school sports, and I don't know if you're feeling this as much as I am, but I feel like coaches around the state and athletic directors have seen the decline of positive stories. Maybe I'm just throwing this out there. The television, there's only one television station in town now covering high school sports. The newspapers are doing less. And so what I'm getting to is I'm just feeling like it's open arms. Like Graham Kapowson, we're talking about doing this game. They're like, get here. You couldn't get here fast enough. The ADs, the principals, they're just like, whatever you need, Egan. Texting Monty Kohler's like, whatever you need. We were just chatting with Bellevue. We're going to do them next week. Maybe we'll get Puckett to join us there. They're like, whatever you need. And so I'm applauding you for continuing to do what you're doing, but I'm also giving a shout out because I think the ADs and the coaches understand we got to get more. We got to put some more positivity out there about these kids because there's not enough right now. So I just want to shout out. I don't know where I'm going with this, Puck, but I just want to shout out. I think we've seen a decline in all this positive news. So God bless people like Todd that are doing their job out there and putting more positive stuff out there. So
yeah, no, Chris, you're absolutely right. I can't tell you how many coaches in King County came up to me and said, thanks for covering us. Cause the big newspaper has been slowly kind of backing out of that market space. There are a lot of TV or radio stations and newspapers that still cover high schools.
Yeah.
Very, very well. And I don't want to replace them. I would certainly encourage people to subscribe to your hometown newspaper, especially the ones who do it well. Listen to the radio stations that do it well. But I'd like to think that I just kind of tie it up and kind of give us a statewide perspective with rankings and, which is what people want to know when they're kind of hidden in their own community. What do people in, Eastern Washington think of Graham Kapowson, or what do people in Snohomish County think of, Sumner? So, but I think the people that are in it, I know that coaches and administrators do appreciate us being in the space, especially the ones that have been doing it a long time, like me and you, Egan, and obviously the two guys in the Hollywood Squares above row.
Yeah. Puck,
well,
my biggest concern tonight, not on the big board, is when I was 10 years old fishing on Ohop Lake, I was out there with an old timer, and he was like, Chris, I love when you come out to old Kapowison. And for the longest time, I would say Graham Kapowison. And somebody finally from there said, Egan, it's no Owison. It's just Graham Kapowison.
You're going to slip up.
I'm going to slip up tonight because an old timer. I go back to the old time. It's the Battle of Des Moines versus Des Moines.
And this is a great story you can tell tonight on the King 5 Plus app.
But I can't remember his name. I think it was Larry from OHOP, but he pronounced it Graham Kapowison.
Just say GK, and then just do a tour of all your favorite places around the area. Todd, you're going to be
Does Todd have the quarterback down real quick? Todd, you got the quarterback for GK down?
AJ Tuiveave.
Wow.
Why don't you?
Well, how did he say that again? Todd? I want to look at my pronunciator here, Puck. How'd you say that again? AJ Tuiveave is how my pronunciator says it.
I'm glad you're pronouncing it. I just make it up as I go.
Well, I think you have to do it in the second quarter tonight, don't you, Milles? Aren't you joining him?
I'm just going to call him AJ. I'm just going to call him AJ, the quarterback, the big quarterback.
Yeah.
AJ.
That's all you got to do.
He's going to have a nickname, Todd. That's what I love about high school kids. I'll always ask them, like, what's your nickname? And they'll give it to me, and I just end up going with that. So, yeah.
What you'll be there tonight, Todd, covering what should be a hope. Well, I don't want to say hopefully because there's probably some Graham Kapowison fans listening. What hopeful? Potentially could be a historic night in Graham Kapowison as Monty Kohler will go for the career coaching record mark to pass Sid Otten. You've talked to him many times. It's amazing that he's still coaching and coaching at such a high level.
Yeah, he's going for win 395 tonight. I asked if they were doing a big party. I asked one of the O'Day, coaches, what are they doing afterward if he gets it tonight? And they said, well, I haven't heard anything. They might do a cake in the gymnasium. I actually had to ask the coach if Monty ever drank a beer, and he said yes. So maybe he'll go home and have a nice glass of scotch or something if he passes Sid. But these two teams played last year in week 1, and it was a barn burner. O'Day eked it out on a fumble return in the last minute by David Schwartzel. As we'll talk about, this defensive front from O'Day is one of the best in recent memory in state. Fosse, David Schwartzel at the end. You have the Nonu brothers, Jeremiah and Tavita. They're all D1 guys. Now, Tavita's not going to play tonight. He's out till maybe October with the shoulder thing. But this defensive front does make up for some of the inexperience they have in the back end. They lost both of their safeties, and they also lost 3 offensive linemen. But they bring a lot back on both sides of the ball. They're clearly the team to beat. They're clearly the number 1 team in the state. And great, even though they're playing at home, GK really has its hands full tonight. Even though that they have that big quarterback, big AJ at quarterback, and guys like Case Betts and Mo Williams on the outside. But it should be a good game because I think GK saw how you can move the ball on this defense and it's throw it. The question is he going to have enough time to do it?
Hey, Todd, you didn't mention Todd. Oh, sorry, Jim. He just didn't mention one player on O'Day who's going to get a lot of name drops tonight. That is junior fullback linebacker Peyton Egan. So this guy's got to be good, Todd.
Did you have a nephew transfer to O'Day, Chris? Did you have a?
We're wondering if he is related. That's gonna be part of the broadcast tonight. If we can find his parents and get him into the booth tonight.
Maybe Melanie doesn't want to know. You know what I mean, Chris? Yeah.
Well, what if he does look like me a little bit?
Well, Jesus. you have some explaining to do. Jim, what do you got?
Yeah, Todd, I've just got a bigger picture question for those of us who don't know a whole hell of a lot about high school football this year. Who are some of the best prospects out there, and do any of them want to be Cougs?
Oh.
Yeah. There's a lineman in Prosser, I think, that's going to Washington State, and he's pretty good. He just barely missed my preseason All-State team. No, I mean, the best prospect in the state is a kid at Kennedy Catholic. I don't know if you guys have seen him play, but he is a sight to behold with his burst, and he's a wrestler. It's Derek Coleman Brusa.
Yeah.
He's gone to the Mighty Purple where his brother is, and I guess his brother made the traveling roster, he told me, but he said he's put in a couple new tricks in his pass rushing stuff. He had almost 30 tackles for loss last year as a junior, was the unanimous All-State player, and he's back. And if there's one player I could suggest to go see, it would be him. And if you want to drive to Moses Lake and watch, Brady J, who's about to throw for 10,000 yards, he'll throw for 10,000 career yards when it's all said and done. He's going to Ryan Divish's alma mater at Montana. Those would be the two guys I'd recommend across the state.
And it's just great coverage. I mean, if you go to varsitywanews.com, it is, I mean, it's the most comprehensive coverage of high school football I have seen. It is incredible. All the work that you and Lauren Smith have put into this. Again, varsitywanews.com is the website. It's just $6 a month. I mean, don't be Egan, stop at Dutch Bros. Say no to Dutch Bros.
Just for one day.
And if you love high school athletics and knowing how hard Todd works, he and Lauren are going to this is going to be a runaway success. Also, check out the YouTube page of Varsity Wa News. He's going to have a weekly podcast, also a recap show every Friday of high school football and action from across the state. And again, follow them on Twitter at Varsity Wa News. Todd, congratulations. It's awesome. It is really, really cool. And I'm just so glad you did this. And you have so much passion for it. Great job,
guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you tonight, Chris, and go Cougs.
Yeah, Todd, I'll be wearing a blue pinstripe suit with a red tie. I don't know what you want to go with, but probably a gray suit or a.
He's gonna wear the Cougs colors. Is what he's gonna.
Let me know if you need makeup. Let me know if you need any makeup beforehand too, Todd.
I can't wait to
watch. You look
watch
great.
This
you look good.
All right. See you guys.
See it. There he is, Todd Milles. Again, varsitywanews.com. And it's just
Jim,
incredible.
I'm thinking of you kind of, but Puckett's mentioned Dutch Brothers and Ryan Divish, and I do have to tell this story. I'm at spring training, and I'm like, I'm going to Dutch Brothers, and Divish is like, oh, I love that place, but I hate it. They're too nice there. I go, what do you mean? He goes, the people that serve the coffee, they're too nice. I go, oh, okay. And then he hands me a $10 bill. He goes, but can you get me a?
No, he's right about that. They're overly nice there. I think that's part of their training.
I think they've got to be. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, hey, Mr. Egan, how you doing today? What are you up to today? I'm fine with it, but yeah, Divish, I'm his coffee. I go get his Dutch Bros.
If you had to choose, though, and you pulled up and there was a Dutch Bros and then a bikini barista, where would you go?
I'd be at the bikini barista. I mean, the coffee's just as good, isn't it? Is there something about? I mean, my wife likes these. I don't know, these energy drinks that they serve there. What are they called?
Oh,
the
rocket
Rebels. Things.
The
Rebels. Yeah, the overpriced Rebels.
Yeah. Well, Egan, don't answer it.
I didn't hear your question. I was staring at my wife. She's outside doing hot yoga right now, and the Lululemons just
gets you every time. Hey, King 5 Plus app, the game, Graham Kapowsin O'Day tonight, 7:00 start. Correct?
Yes.
Get it back on the road.
I'll be on there.
Can you turn the camera to the backyard? I want to see a little bit of yoga. Come on.
Yeah, I kind of do.
You're talking about your wife. It sounds like she's hot as hell. Let's go.
She is. And she wears that weighted vest. I was thinking about doing this show with a weighted vest today.
My whole life I've had a weighted vest on. All right. 7:00 start.
Yeah. 7:00 start. We got our 5:45, 6:45 pregame shows on King 5. Still all the, the fun, the stuff we always do. And then yeah. Oh my. And then and then we got the game at 7:00 till 9:30, and then post game reaction, and then
Why don't you go get yourself outside and get into a little bit of a downward dog and see where the day goes, huh?
What do you guys think about those weighted vests the ladies are all wearing now?
I wasn't aware that was a thing, but
just stupid. Just dumb. Just dumb. All right, Egan, have fun tonight. We'll be watching. I'll be watching.
Puck, when are you on? Next week we're going to be at Bellevue. That's already the Wolverines.
That's close by. Yeah, that's not a far drive. Okay.
I mean, it's either you, Paul Moyer, or Warren Moon for special guests. But I'd go. You're my number one. So
okay. You know what? Let me
They'll be
talk, let me
taking
talk to
on-
the CEO.
Yeah,
Let me
talk
to
to the CEO. They're taking on Tommy Try and the Lake Stevens Vikings next week, so it should be a good little battle. So
okay. Hey, have fun tonight. This is really cool.
okay, buddy.
See
All
you,
right.
Deb. There he
See you,
is,
Chris.
Chris Egan, King 5. And again, King 5 Plus app. You can watch O'Day and Graham Kapowsin tonight, and he'll have coverage on King 5, the big game of the week. All right. Well, he's a little late. A Friday Football Tailgate Show, Jim Moore, would not be complete. Of course, our Friday Football Tailgate Show, brought to you by Georgetown Brewery and Flat Steak Pub, would not be complete without our handicapper. He's back for another year. The PuckSports handicapper, TroyWins.com. It's Troy Wins there on social media. Hello, Troy. Good to see you again. Troy, it looks like you've been working out.
Oh, don't say it. I'm trying. I've got a long ways to go. I need to get the weighted vest that Egan's talking about. Sounds like that's the way to do it. Well, I'm trying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're happy
see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you. We're going to get into a bunch of games. We got college games to pick. We got NFL games. We got your lock of the week. We have Jim Moore's smoking lock pick of the week. Can't wait for that one.
Am I going to scoop my own Substack?
How's the bankroll for you these days, Jim? Are you dipping into the 401k? I mean, I know last year you were betting $1 a game. Have you upped that since? How have you been?
Okay, Troy, Mr. 5 figures betting on games. I'm not a high roller like you. Okay, I'm trying to survive on Social Security and that shitty ass PI pension that I have.
Hey, when?
Yeah, I'm still gambling though.
Okay.
You know when Troy does the Instagram videos and he's putting down all the money down, how much he's betting, letting everyone know. Can you do that, but do it with the pennies and the dimes and the nickels that you usually bet with?
Yeah, sure. Anytime, Puck. I do whatever you want me to do. I'll do it. Yeah, I'm good.
Nah.
God, I had the Cowboys on the money line last night, and I loved it when Carter spit on Prescott and got booted.
Did
Yeah,
you like CeeDee Lamb?
No, I didn't like CeeDee Lamb.
True story, guys. I'm sitting at DraftKings Sportsbook last night and sitting with a couple guys. We're watching the game and we have the under 47.5. And one of the guys takes off at halftime. He goes, "Guys, I'm heading home early." What a joke. What were we thinking? Because we went against the grain. I mean, 85% of the public was on the over. We're like, screw it. We're going against the public. We'll go on the under. And so I'm sitting there, the game goes into a weather delay. By this time, everybody's cleared out. I'm still sitting there and hanging out. And I'm going, this has a shot at going under. And I read the stat this morning, 172-1.
Oh.
When the total's set at 47.5 and they've already gotten to 40 by halftime. So that one felt good to start the season on.
How do you go from no punts in the first half to just defensive battle in the second?
I've never seen like it. I don't know if it had to do with the weather delay. I mean, you got two explosive offenses, explosive players all over the field, and you get three measly points in the second half. But what a way to start the NFL season.
All right, let's get into the games, and then if there are any additional games, we can look at those as well. Let's start in college football. Johnny Mateer coming off a great week 1, and Oklahoma is at home. They welcome in the University of Michigan, the Wolverines. Troy, who do you like in this one?
I like Oklahoma a lot in this game. I just think this is their Super Bowl. They're at home. I like Johnny football a lot. I know it's got to be tough for you guys to see him go, but this guy's the real deal. I think Michigan's still in somewhat, I don't want to call it rebuild mode, but they're a younger team. First big road test. I think Oklahoma's defense is much better than last year. Give me the Sooners. I think they win this one somewhat handedly. I think the Sooners win this one 35-23. Give me Oklahoma.
Troy, I'm a little surprised with this line in Eugene. I don't know anything about Oklahoma State this year, but they're still, Division I quality program, but they're getting 28.5 at Oregon.
Yeah, I'm taking this one. I'm taking Oklahoma State just on the sheer fact that Van Gundy is not happy with Dan Lanning. I think the bickering back and forth. I think the Sooners, or I think the Cowboys, I think they hang in this one. I don't think they win the game. I don't even necessarily think they're close. But I'll take 28 and a hook all day here. I think Oregon wins the game. I think it's going to be like a 41-21 type of game. But I'll take 28 and a half here. I think the Sooners, Van Gundy puts a quality product on the field every year. They'll be hyped up. This is a much better test than Montana State. Give me the Cowboys to cover.
It's homecoming in God's country, and we welcome into the Cougars San Diego State, the Aztecs, and Washington State a slight favorite at 1.5.
Well, my buddy last week almost upset you guys. Thomas Ford, a Montlake Terrace alumni, born and raised in Briar, Washington. He almost took the Cougs down last week. Was that just the Cougs being bad, or will they bounce back this week? I'm with you guys. I heard you talking earlier in the week. My official money will be on the under in this game. For the sake of going against the spread, I'll take the Cougs in a close one. I think it's a 17-14 type of game. I'll take the Cougs, but my money will be on the under in this game.
All right, Troy, the NFL is going to be in Brazil tonight. We got the Chiefs and the Chargers. The Chargers getting 3.5.
I'm grabbing the Chargers. Might even sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I may be foolish at the end of the year. I just don't think the Chiefs are what they are. Rasheed Rice getting 4-game suspension. Travis Kelce, another year older. They've got some hiccups on the defense. I'm taking the Chargers. This Chargers team, to me, is complete. They've got good special teams. They've got Harbaugh behind the helm. I'm excited to see Amari and Hampton run the ball tonight. Najee Harris is going to play. Give me the Chargers in a close one, 24-21. I'll take the Chargers plus the points.
All right, we go to the rest of the action in the NFL coming up on Sunday. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf. They are favored by 2.5. They are in New York taking on the Jets.
I think it's an ugly football game to start the year. Two teams flopping squads. But give me the Steelers. I just think they're the more complete team. Their defense is better than the Jets. I'll be curious what Rodgers looks like. I don't expect him to have a monstrous game, but I just think that Jets team with Justin Fields just isn't going to be ready to go. Give me Pittsburgh in a close one, 21-17.
The big one in Seattle, the 49ers giving 1.5 to the Seahawks. The 49ers, Christian McCaffrey showing up on the injury report with a calf problem.
This is going to be an awesome game. I'm really looking forward to it. I am going with the 49ers, and here's why. Until I see Sam Darnold really step up and be able to make some big throws in this offense, I'm not a believer quite yet in the Seahawks. I think Sean McVay, he gets rid of Cooper Kupp. I think there's a reason behind that. Can the Seahawks stretch the field? If they can, who stretches the field? Is it JSN? Is it Kupp? I don't necessarily believe in that offensive line quite yet. 49ers, to me, it is a big bounce back year. They're healthy right now because it is week one. We'll see if the injuries mount up towards the end of the year like it did last year. But week one, they're healthy. Give me the 49ers in a close one, 24-21.
All right, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Ravens, Bills. This should be a great game in Buffalo. Ravens actually favored in this one, right? 1.5?
I was surprised to see them favored, and that's why I'm taking them. And they're my Super Bowl pick this year. I just think this Ravens team is so complete. I mean, I know Lamar Jackson fumbles into the playoffs every single year, but I think this is the year he gets through it. Give me the Ravens in an exciting thriller, 35-28. I'll take the Ravens on Sunday night.
Okay.
Interesting Monday night matchup with the Vikings traveling to Chicago to face the Bears. The Vikings are 1.5-point favorites.
A lot of hype around the Bears right now. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, all of a sudden people are hyping him up like he's done something. He still hasn't. Until he proves to me that he can win big football games. I get it. J.J. McCarthy hasn't done anything on the other side, but I think McCarthy's got more weapons. Vikings coming off that monstrous 14-win season last year. Give me the Vikings. I think they go into Chicago and steal this one. 27-24. Give me the Vikings.
Okay, every week Troy has got a lock of the week. Troy, what's your lock of the week?
I'm a little bit, I shouldn't be saying I'm scared of this one, but guys, this is, when I saw this spread come out, and look it up for yourself, I was blown away by it. Illinois, -2.5. They're going into Duke. Not an easy place to play, I get it. Manny Diaz is a great coach, but Brett Bielema returns 19 guys this year. He brings back his senior quarterback, Luke Altmaier. This is a really, really good Illinois football team. Yes, they're traveling on the road against Duke, but they're going to be hungry. This is a team that I really think wants to make a push to make the playoff. Give me the Illini in a big way. 35-23. My lock of the week is Illinois -2.5.
For people that want more of your expertise, where can they find you? How do they get that, Troy?
Yeah, guys, it's TroyWins.com. It's $100 a month. We've actually withdrew the weekly. I hate to do that, but we did. We want people to be bought in for at least a month. $100 a month. That's a cup of Dutch Bros a day, guys. It's the best bargain going. Stop missing out, guys. We even got a book going out. Jim, if you haven't bought the book, get the book, The Winning Edge, written by Troy West yourself. But it's TroyWins.com. $100 a month. I truly feel it's the best bargain going. And if we don't profit for you and you want your money back, we'll give you your money back. No questions asked.
Hey, congrats on the book. Give us a nugget from the book to make us buy it.
Yeah, the book starts, guys, I'm 38. I started gambling when I was 17. It gives you kind of how I got into it. How we are, the evolution of gambling, gets into the money management, gets into bad beats that we've seen over the years, all sorts of fun stuff. So the book, you can find it on Amazon. It's called The Winning Edge. Myself and a buddy of mine, Jesse Starter, wrote the book. So it's a fun little read, but kind of gets in. And it's crazy. I mean, guys, 21 years ago, we were going to Safeways and handing them hundreds of dollars and wiring at Western Union, right? And it was going to an offshore book in Costa Rica. Fast forward 21 years. I mean, even our liberal state of Washington, we can gamble just about anywhere now.
Jim, are you going to give your smoke and lock of the week, or we have to wait and read that at JimMoreTheGoToGuy.substack.com? And that's fine if we do. When does that come out?
Yeah, I don't want to scoop myself. Yeah, it's a big deal there on my Substack, JimMoreTheGoToGuy.substack.com. I mean, that's a huge deal.
And that comes at what time?
I know Troy waits for that too. He wants to get my smoke and lock.
Yeah, of course.
I do.
Actually, hey, Troy, everybody spoofs this thing because they were always like, God, you always lose at that. I'm going to bet the opposite way. I had Oregon State this last week, Troy, against Cal, and that was the only one I missed in my 17 parlay.
I like Oregon State to bounce back this week, but that was a tough one. Oof.
Jim, when does your smoke and lock of the week come out?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Look for it. Hey, do we like the over-under for the Seahawks real quick is 8.5? What do we like on that? 8.5 wins.
Man, I like the under. I like the
really
under game. Yeah.
You have 8.5 wins on the season. You think under?
Guys, until I see, I'm telling you, I just think this. I heard this the other day. Actually, I heard the Circus Sportsbook, the CEO of the Circus Sportsbook, says his biggest liability is the Seahawks. Guys betting the over win total, win the division, win the Super Bowl, all this stuff. His biggest liability is the Seahawks. I just can't buy into that offense right now. I just think they don't have the playmakers outside. I think Jay Ascend's a really quality number 2 type of guy, but who is your number 1? And until Cooper Kupp shows me that he's got 8 catches, 120 yards in him, I think that offense could struggle. We'll see if Ken Walker's healthy, but I don't know. I know the defense is going to be good. I get it. That defense is going to be good. I just think losing Geno Smith and DK Metcalf is being overlooked.
Okay. How many games do you have the Huskies winning?
We'll see. That defense looked a little shaky. The schedule's somewhat favorable, in my opinion. Obviously, I think they get UC Davis. I think they get the Cougs. We'll see what they're really made of against Ohio State. Can they compete in that game? But as of right now, I think things are looking good for the Huskies.
That didn't answer my question.
Go over on the wins, Jim. Go over on the wins.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what's the total?
I think, at the start of the year, I believe it was 7.5, 6.5. I got to double check that, but after getting the first one, that always changes.
Just bet on the under every Cougs game. That's our gambling advice to you. TroyWins.com is the website for gambling advice. Reach out to them. It's Troy Wins, also there on social media. All right, Troy. Every Friday around 10:45 or so, we'll get the latest picks there with you every single week. Thank you, sir, and we'll see you next Friday.
Happy Friday, guys. See you, Jim. See you.
Take care, Troy.
Bye-bye.
There he is, TroyWins.com. He likes Oklahoma or Oklahoma at home. Minus the 5, Oklahoma State getting 28.5. He likes the Cougs minus 1.5. He likes the Chargers tonight, and then all the NFL games. Pittsburgh minus 2.5 at New York. San Francisco minus 1.5 at Seattle. Ravens minus 1.5 the Bills, and then he likes the Vikings against the Bears. And his lock of the week is against Illinois minus 2.5 there at Duke. Jim, a final word. What do you got?
Do you like the Cougs this week?
I like the under.
Okay, so that means you don't really like us winning the game?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about San Diego State other than they beat some Stony Brook team, but I don't know. I think they'll bounce back. I think they're going to look much better. I would assume running the ball. It's homecoming. I think it's going to be a close, tight, ugly football game.
Okay, I got a quick last word for you. I'm going to play starting tomorrow. I have a friend from Austria who's coming to town. I met him on a media golf trip to Puerto Rico many years ago, and so he's coming to town. We're going to play 9 rounds of golf in 6 days. Do you think that I will get all 9 rounds in at the age of 68, even cart aided? Is it possible?
No.
I tend to agree with you. I'm a little concerned about finishing this up.
I think you'll play 4.
4? I'll play more than 4.
4
but
rounds.
9 in 6 days. So there's 2 or 3 days we're playing 36.
So that means so you're not here next week? Is that the deal?
Oh, Wednesday. Yeah, I already talked to you about that.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll be playing down there at Sun River at the Meadows. Yeah.
Thank
I
God
can't
you
believe
now
that other
have-
people would, if it's okay for the host of the Puck Sports podcast to play free golf and take time off to go to Gamble Sands, I figured that, some sidekick that's down in Bend, it'd be okay for him too.
Hey, Angry Beaver, good time to start the promotion. Don't worry.
What do you think Limback Lumber thought when you were over there, teeing it up with David McClay Kid?
Don't worry. On Wednesday, do you want me to read your live reads on Wednesday for you?
If you could, I'd appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm not because, sorry. You'll have to call them. Well, I'm sorry that I know it's exhausting to work 3 days a week for an hour.
Oh, yeah. Hey, sorry, Zog's on Fox Island, but, I'll be teeing it up over there at Gamble Sands.
They understood.
Yeah. Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Go Cougs. Have a fabulous weekend.
Okay. Thanks, Puck. Go Cougs.
Hey, wait. Don't go. Actually, don't go. Don't go. Don't go. So my buddy just texted me because he's bidding on the helmet. The Cougar football helmet that we talked about earlier that drives around the track.
Yeah.
He just texted me. He says it's up to $7,500.
Oh, jeez.
That takes me out.
Yeah.
Takes
that quickly in an hour.
Yeah. The bidding goes until 2:00 on the Cougar football driving helmet. All right. Okay. Now we can say goodbye. We'll see you on Monday. Go Cougs.
All right. Take care. Go Cougs.
Joe Moore with us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Again, brought to you by Brothers in Cadillac, Angry Beaver, and A Clean Streak. All right. Also, as our Friday Football Tailgate Show continues, every Friday we'll catch up with Bob Condotta of the Seattle Times. Bob Condotta has been covering the Seattle Seahawks for, I don't know how many years now it's been. He is absolutely one of the best in doing it. Great knowledge, great coverage. If you're not a subscriber to the Seattle Times, I would be one to get all of Bob's work. Again, seattletimes.com. They have got the preview section that is out today if you want to grab a hard copy of that. But every Friday, Bob Condotta joins me to talk Seahawks football, all brought to you by Georgetown Brewery. Condotta of the Seattle Times as we continue our Friday Football Tailgate Show, which is brought to you by Flat Stick Pub and Georgetown Brewery. And Bob joins us now every Friday. His appearance brought to you by Georgetown Brewery, makers of Manny's Pale Ale, Bodie Zaffa IPA, Rogers Pilsner, and their new tavern beer. Tasting room and beer garden open daily, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit georgetownbeer.com. It's here, Bob. You've made it to football season. Now the craziness starts for you.
Yeah, that's what's always kind of funny. In fact, we were talking about that in the press room the other day, where people are like, people always ask, like, "Oh, your life gets busy now," and it's like, training camp is actually almost worse than the season in some ways, just because of the time commitment aspect of it. How different the hours are then, and so the season can almost be a little bit easier in terms of the workload because there's at least a weekly routine, and you kind of know what certain days are and stuff like that. But yeah, after watching, I don't think I'm alone in this, but I think I watched every single open practice they had, and I did miss the Green Bay game. I guess I had a personal thing, but other than that, I've seen 20 practices or whatever, and the preseason and the preseason games, and you do get to a point, and I know the players and coaches are way more than us, but you do get to a point that you really want to see them play someone else and kind of start to see how good this team really is that you've been following this whole time and are kind of assuming is good.
From where you sit, how does this team look in year 2 under Mike Macdonald?
I think it looks better. You do always worry this time of year, kind of falling prey to being a homer and stuff like that, and just kind of listening. They seem pretty optimistic, so sometimes maybe it could be easy to fall prey to their optimism. But that certainly happened to me at times in the past before, where I've thought that about teams. But I think the defense. I mean, we saw how good the defense could be the last half of last season. That final game against the Rams, I know some people give some people some cause, but and the way they lost to Green Bay and Minnesota at home can certainly give you a little bit of pause as well. But when you just look at the stats overall of those last 8 games and how they played then, and then you see everybody essentially back for this year, and presumably, especially with some of the young guys being a little bit better, and just from week 1 this year having it sorted out, who McDonald wants playing where on that defense, there's reason to think that they should for the whole 17-game season, be a better defense this year than they were last year. Offensively is obviously, with Sam Darnold and the unknown over there, kind of the big X factor. But the offensive line, it's certainly on paper again, and not just on paper, but what we saw a couple of times in the preseason. The offensive line, it looks better, and it looks like it makes more sense what they're doing and how it's fitting guys. And having Abe Lucas back at right tackle, you saw what a big deal the team thinks that is by giving him the contract they did yesterday. But I think that's a big deal. I think having both tackle spots, and Charles Cross is going to be fine. We obviously didn't see him in the preseason with the finger thing, but he was out there a lot in the practices that we saw, and having the tackle spots solidified, having the guard spots at least solidified. We can't figure out who the starter is, so we're going to play both guys like they did last year, which I think was, that was kind of a default rotation. And this year it's more of a, Anthony Bradford was the best guy and won the job, and there's reason to think he's better than he was last year. So, it's going to be a great test right out of the gate too. That was one of the things last year where I think from those first 3 games when they won them, and everybody was trying to be optimistic, but every team they played there, turned out not to be that great, or you're playing backup quarterbacks or whatever. But this year, you hit the ground running with the 49ers, and Brock Purdy's going to be out there, and I think Christian McCaffrey's going to be out there. But in general, it's the 49ers that, the best version of them in general that they're going to be able to put out there, week 1 with guys mostly being healthy. So, it's exciting from that standpoint to really get a great test right off the bat.
Your guys is at the Seattle Times. The Seahawks preview section is out. I would encourage everyone to go get it. I'll go get yourself a hard copy. Get, as I always like to say, get a little ink on your fingertips. Tremendous work by all you guys who put that together over there. On the cover of it, Sam Darnold. In how much does this season? How much does the needle move one way or the other based on how he plays?
It moves a lot, just because in the NFL it always does with quarterbacks, and I think more than ever in today's NFL. As much as you want to say you run the ball, if all you can do is run the ball, if an NFL team wants to stop that, they can probably stop it. This isn't college football in the 80s or whatever, where if you're the Oklahoma Sooners and you can throw 3 passes a game, but you can't stop their option or something like that, no matter what you try to do. In the NFL, defenses are just too good, and I don't think you can win solely by running the ball. You've got to be able to throw it, and you've got to be able to pass block, and you've got to be able to make big plays in the passing game. And so, Sam Darnold's coming off what in general is a good year. He finished 10th in the NFL MVP voting, and a 35-12 touchdown to interception ratio and all that. It's just, those last couple games and his history prior to that gives some people some pause. I wrote a big story on Sam Darnold for that, and really breaking down his career. It actually was better than I remembered. Like the Carolina thing, he started off 3-0 the 1 year in Carolina and had a good, what was thrown, statistically was doing pretty well and everything. And then he had some injuries, and that team was just kind of a train wreck at the time around him anyway. And, so there were some things like that when I looked at it, and I was like, he didn't necessarily, this wasn't all his fault that these things happened in some of the places where he was. The Jets have just been terrible for everybody who's gone there for forever, for the last 20 years or whatever in general. So I felt more optimistic really when I kind of went back and just looked through essentially every NFL game he played. I kind of called up the box score, was going through it, and things like that. I felt a little better about that part of it. Just when people want to say, well, last year is the outlier and it's everything else that's the real Sam Darnold. I didn't think some of those other years were that bad. And but it's not just him too. It's the receiving core, which to me, the receiving core, I feel like is more of an unknown than I think some people, maybe than other people portray it, just because you got Jackson Smith and Jigba, you got Cooper Kupp, who you're hoping at age 32 and everything is still the same Cooper Kupp. But, for as good as Torrey Horton looked at times in camp, he's still a rookie, and, he got hurt and didn't practice a lot the last couple of weeks. And then after that is love all those guys, Jake Bobo and Derek Young and Cody White and all that, but they have a combined 42, career NFL catches, and all of them have played, at least 3 years, have been on NFL rosters for at least 3 years. So suddenly counting on them, maybe it works out, but there's some reason to question a little bit how if anything, if anybody gets hurt in the receiving core, just how deep it is, and having to depend on those guys. But the tight ends maybe can help take up that slack and things like that. So I think the whole offense is rightly, that's, I know the people from outside who look at it, that's what they point to, is that, the defense looks like it should be able to kind of hit the ground running from where it was last year, but we don't know what this offense is going to look like. And again, playing the 49ers right out of the gate is, will be a really good assessment of that.
What do you think the plan is? And they're not going to share it for obvious reasons, but just observing practice and listening to the coaches talk, the plan for Jalen Milroe.
It gets trickier. I mean, this time of year we don't get to watch practice suddenly. So whether they're suddenly using him a lot with the number one offense or something, is kind of kept behind scenes. And you're right, they're not going to say anything. They're not going to tell us anything about that right now. I don't think, my hunch is there's not really a big plan for him. I do think it's just maybe there's a play or two here or there, like we saw the time in the preseason. But I don't think they're suddenly going to just, give him a series or two here or there. I don't think it's that kind of a plan at all. I think there's a package of plays, and if there's, a 4th and 1 at the, at the 47-yard line or something like that, and you want to throw him out there and try to get it, you've got something specific like that. That's what I think the plan is. That would be my hunch for what it is. He never, in all the practices we saw, he never took any just series with the number one offense or something like that, where it looked like they were prepping him to play with them. Everything he did was with the threes, and that remained through the entire preseason. I mean, the Green Bay joint practice, Sam Darnold and Drew Lock took all the snaps with the ones and twos out there, when they had that, and then Jalen Milroe played the entire game the next day with what was essentially the number 3 offense. But so I doubt they came back from that and then suddenly just started giving him a ton of reps with the ones in practice as they were getting ready for the 49ers. So that would surprise me a little bit if they were doing that. So I'm not anticipating a huge plan for Jalen Milroe, but I do think he'll probably be active on game day. And that third quarterback, the way they can use that, and and then if they find a way or two here or there to sneak it in, and they've got a real specialty package or something, they could make it work that way.
What's the health update as we get to Friday, and we'll find out later this afternoon exactly what the situation is with these players. But of last note on these guys, Anthony Bradford right back, Tariq Woolen, he has been sick. Derek Young hamstring, did not practice yesterday. I think it was Bobo, White, and Nwosu have been limited. Let's just go to Bradford quickly. Is there a concern that he didn't practice yesterday, that he can't go this weekend?
Well, we'll find out for sure in a couple hours. I didn't. He wasn't on there on Wednesday, and then suddenly he was on Thursday. I know they practiced harder on Wednesday than they did on Thursday, just kind of looking at it. And so I don't know if something happened in Wednesday's practice, or if that was just kind of giving him some rest on, like, hey, he's got a little bit of a back thing, so we're just going to sit him on Thursday. They sometimes do that, when they get through their Wednesday practice, which often is kind of the heaviest physical practice of the week. And then sometimes if guys have anything or something crept up, they rest them on Thursday, and then they get them back ready on Friday when it's just kind of more of a walkthrough kind of thing. So we'll find out a lot more when they have to. It'll be about 1:30 or so our time. They'll have to release their game status report. We'll see if he's on it or not. An illness on Thursday usually that isn't a huge concern unless it's just really something out of the ordinary. So I don't know that I'd be worried about Woolen, but. So we'll find that out with Bradford, but he hasn't, that was one of the things that won him the job, was he was out there constantly in training camp. So I didn't know of anything prior. So again, maybe that was just kind of a rest day as much as anything as well. But we'll find out. Cody White and Jake Bobo were out there when we kind of got to watch the beginning stretching part of practice. So I would assume they're on track to play. Although with Bobo, it's a concussion protocol, so there's some specific steps there. And then in Wuso, that's more, to me, that was more of a question just because it's hard to know now from our standpoint how much he really is kind of doing out there in practice. He hadn't been doing any practicing during before the Green Bay thing, and then we haven't gotten to see any practices since then. So, they might have to ease him in some, but he does kind of play that kind of position where you could make him active, and then even if he can only get 10 or 15 snaps or something like that, those could be pretty big snaps for you still.
Is Torrey Horton all good? He fully practiced on Thursday, but I know he's been missing some time of late.
He looks like he is now. Yeah, no, he hasn't been on the injury report this week, so it looks like he's out there full go. So he looked like he had been, I think since the Green Bay, again, he didn't play in that, but I think since then, I think they've kind of gotten him back to practice, and he's been going good since then. So I'm not anticipating that he's going to have to miss any snaps. It's just kind of a question of how many is he going to play anyway. It is going to be curious to see how the receiving rotation kind of works out that way, because they're going to play more just 2 receiver sets. They're not going to have 3 receivers out there as much as they've had in the past. They're going to do more of that. They're going to have times they're going to have a fullback in there and go I formation and just have 2 receivers and kind of the condensed formations where you just kind of have your receivers in close and you're trying to run the ball that way or do some things that way. So will be interesting that way. The last year you had Metcalf and JSN had a certain number of snaps. Lockett, I think, was kind of right behind them, but still pretty similar. And then there was a huge drop off in snaps for the rest of the guys. This year it could be more that JSN and Cup have take the most of the snaps, and then there's a little bit more of a drop off to the number 3 receiver and beyond.
All right, big picture for this team. What do you think the expectations are?
I mean, I think their expectations are that they can win the NFC West. I mean, I think they look around and don't see any reason why they can't. They were right. They did beat the 49ers last year on the road, which was something, after the way they just been blown out by them basically for 3 years, but to go down there and win that game. And regardless, I know 49er fans would say, well, that team by then was starting to be a shell of what it was because of the injuries, but that's still part of the deal of the NFL is having depth to be able to make it through the season. They were right there with the Rams. If they just, if they don't lose that overtime game against the Rams, at mid-season, they could have won the NFC West right there, and they beat Arizona twice. So I think they feel like they went 4-2 in the division. So I don't think they feel like there's any reason why they can't be right there with the rest of the NFC West. So I think that's the clear goal for them is winning the NFC West. And every team sort of has some things you're wondering about. With the 49ers, it's just sort of the overall health of the team, and with the Rams, it's Matthew Stafford, and can he stay upright for the whole season? And then Arizona, we've never really seen Arizona. They always look good for a stretch of games here or there, but they never really seem to put it all together and become that kind of team that wins 12 or 13 games or something like that. So I think that's the clear expectation for them, and I think they're happy to have the rest of us put that on it, because I think they feel like they should be considered in that regard.
All right, they got Abe Lucas taken care of, 3-year, $46 million extension. Where do they turn their attention now? Is it right back to Charles Cross? I mean, they did pick up the option for 26. Do they pivot someplace else?
No, I don't think it's to Cross now. I think they are. It's interesting because John Schneider reiterated last week when he talked to us about and he volunteered it. He wasn't asked it either. It was kind of just a question about extensions, but he volunteered their policy of not doing extensions for anybody who has more than a year remaining on their contract. Now, to me, I had a little bit of a question of, do they consider that extension the same way the option? I mean, the option that they picked up on Cross's contract, do they consider that the same? because they've never done that. As we all wrote when they picked it up on Cross, they've never picked up one of those before. The 5th-year option on a rookie deal. So do they consider that the same? I think they do. So I think they consider that as Cross's. I mean, he is under contract for 26, but they consider that as like the same as all those guys. The kicker obviously is it's just because of the huge difference in the cap hit. I don't think he's going to play on that. So I don't think I guess I'd be surprised if he played on that extension. So I do think they'll do something with Cross. I just think they'll wait until after the season. So I think they'll consider that precedent, and they'll try to get that done somewhere before March 12th or whenever the new league year is next year. I think the rest of those guys are all in a little bit of prove it situations, either for their own or for the team. I mean, the other guys you would consider basically of that 22 class are Walker, Maffei, Bryant, and Woolen. And, Walker, I think can he get through a full season healthy? And what is his market value? The market value for running backs obviously could just be hugely divergent and fluctuating from year to year to year. So I think that's one of those they'll just wait and see. I think Maffei is sort of the same because you do have Derek Hall, you do have Nwuso's contract, and I think it's one to just kind of let him play out the year and see what his market does develop as, instead of sort of guessing on it right now. Bryant, I know ESPN has reported that they did talk to Kobe Bryant and that they didn't go anywhere with that. That could easily be Kobe Bryant wanting to hey, let me play a full season as a starter and prove I deserve to be paid at that kind of rate. And, maybe they were kind of being in the middle there of a guy who doesn't, have a huge track record and kind of going into that route. But the X factor there too is Nick Amenwori, and what kind of season does he have? And if he looks like, he could be the other starting safety for a long time, and you've got Julian Love under contract, do you need to re-sign Kobe Bryant to a huge deal? Because you're not going to have 3 safeties on significant contracts. And and who might, and then Woolen. I think Woolen is 1,000% in a just kind of a prove it. I think for both sides. I think Woolen feels like he can be as good as any corner in the NFL, and should get the kind of contract that Sauce Gardner just got. And I think the team has obvious hesitation in that, and they are going to have to pay Devin Witherspoon here in a year or two. They'll probably do the 5th-year option with Witherspoon as well and be able to push that back a year. But I think with Woolen, I think they'll let the year play out and each side and kind of figure that out then and see what his market looks like. It really is realistically at that point.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be with us every single Friday, breaking down the Seahawks, getting you set for their upcoming game. Bob Condotta, Seattle Times. Follow him on social media at B Condotta. All brought to you by Georgetown Brewery, makers of Manny's Pale Ale, Bodie's Offa, Rogers Pilsner, and their new tavern beer. Tasting room and beer garden open daily from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit GeorgetownBeer.com. Godspeed to the upcoming season, Bob. Thank you so much, and we'll talk next week.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot, Jason. Have a good week.
Again, if you missed any of the appearance with Bob Condotta today of the Seattle Times, he'll be with us every single Friday. It will be podcast up later on YouTube, PuckSports there. Also on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and, of course, everything up at PuckSports.com. Again, Bob Condotta, the final word on the Seahawks every Friday with us on the Friday Football Tailgate Show, brought to you by Georgetown Brewery and Flat Stick Pub. Get your beer this weekend at Georgetown Brewery, whether it's a Bodie's Offa, a Lucille, a Manny's, a Rogers Pilsner, their brand new tavern beer that we've been talking about for the past year. Just an unbelievable, great beer. It's like a beer that used to be around here, and that big sign that, I-5, they don't brew here anymore. It's like that, but better. Tavern beer is a fabulous beer when you're sitting back and watching football. And Flat Stick Pub, you got a large group event. You got a party coming up this weekend. You're like, I don't want to do it at home. I don't know where to go. Large group events. There is no better place, whether it's just family and friends, birthday party, or a work party. There's no better place to get everything you need. Activities, games, great beer, great food, than Flat Stick Pub. FlatStickPub.com. They cater large group events, and they do large group events better than anyone. So go visit them at flatstickpub.com. Well, this has been a great Friday Football Tailgate Show, jam-packed, and we got a lot of content for you. We get 90-plus minutes, and how about that? No 9-minute commercial breaks. That feel good? Should feel good. Before we go, some things in addition to this week's shows. We like to highlight this every single Friday. We do a lot of great stuff here. I think, with all the daily content plus all the bonus shows that we give you as well if you sign up to become a Pucks Posse member. So the Pucks Posse shows out this week. I'd like to highlight them every single Friday. This week's show, KJ-Arent, which comes out on Thursdays with Mitch Levy from the Mitch Unfiltered podcast, is out on both platforms. You can sign up to be a Mitch Unfiltered podcast, a subscriber, a patron, or sign up to be a Pucks Posse member, which all you got to do is go to PuckSports.com. Mitch told a great story this week about being trapped down in Arizona and battling with a haboob.
Florida and Seattle, Washington, and I don't know anything from haboobs. I never even heard the word haboob.
I just love that it's called haboob. Like of all things.
And I'm telling you, halfway on I-10 going up north and west on I-10, all of a sudden I see lightning, rain, wind, storm, sand, and before you know it, I'm on I-10, 3 lanes. Everybody is stopped right in the middle of the highway. Right in the middle of I'm not talking about pulling off the side of the road.
Stopped in the road.
An hour.
Hours, the haboob is overhead.
The car was tilting, was like going with the wind. Things are flying by.
What did you think? Now, not knowing probably what it was.
I had no idea. I was
Did you think? What did you think? Because here's me. I'm thinking we're under attack and the aliens are coming.
No.
So that's what I think. The aliens have finally come, and this is it. Again, that's Mitch. KJ-Arent, again, comes out every single Thursday. Mitch caught in one of those storms, a haboob down in Arizona. Also on Wednesdays, we catch up with our MLB Insider Ryan Divish of the Seattle Times. He was in Tampa laying down in his bed this week, and we just talked about the struggles of the Mariners as they are limping to the finish line.
Because people didn't think that it would happen, and I think you're thinking after the one homestand where they went 9-1 or was it 8-1 or 9-1 on the homestand, and then they're like looking at trying to win the division and have a bye in the first round.
Yeah.
To playing the last 4 days of the season and just hanging on and hoping.
Because you're right. At that point, I think they were 2, maybe 3 games behind Toronto for at least the top spot. So now you're starting to think, all right, you can be one of the first 2 teams with a bye. And now I have been convinced that it will come down to Sunday in the final game against the Dodgers, that it will be a must-win game against LA for them to get in.
Yeah, I mean, it's trending that way unless we see something vastly different, in how they're playing, and they still got 4 games left on this road trip. They probably need to salvage at least 2.
And speaking of those Mariners, on this latest episode of the Sportspit, by the way, Sportspit's going to be coming out every month, every Tuesday of every month now. And again, I know for some that might be a problem. And if that's okay, I totally understand. You can always send me an email, puck@pucksports.com. I can always further explain. But we're still doing it, out every month. And we talked a lot about the Mariners, and Steve Sandmeyer had just a great line about how he feels this season is winding down for Seattle.
10 of 15. So we still have a whole month of this left, and this will be like it is in most baseball seasons. Who will be the less shitty team?
Yeah.
And that will be the one to get in, because I think people just automatically assume that if you make the playoffs, you must have been surging toward the end of the season or even had a good September. And this is a tread water month for the Mariners, and they're not the only ones. There's other teams that are treading water this month, and I look at this as a complete and utter death march as opposed to a pennant race.
Like Bridge Over the River Kwai, Death March?
It's a good one.
That's a great movie, by the
That's a
way.
great
You know
movie.
what? That's how I feel.
I'm gonna remember that the rest of the season.
That's how
That's
I
fabulous.
feel, Stretch.
Yeah.
How it's going down to the end. Like, God, man, they may not just get in. Can you imagine if they don't get in? And again, that episode is out now. Sportspit, myself, Steve Sandmeyer, Matt Stretch Johnson, all those shows. If you like any of that, what you heard, I encourage you, go sign up to become a Posse member, Puck's Posse. Go to PuckSports.com. All right, the Friday Football Tailgate Show wraps up with Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It is your restoration company. It lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them at restoration1.com. North Seattle franchise. Real quickly, high school football is back. I love high school football. I love high school athletics. You know, it's kind of the last pure form of sports, it feels like. Good luck to all the players, coaches, families tonight in high school football. It is an absolute grind to play this sport. It starts in the summer when other kids are out enjoying summer vacation. There's a group of kids, boys, 14, 15 to 18, that are sacrificing their summer and coaches so they can get ready for the upcoming football season with grueling 2.5, 3-hour practices every single day in the heat. And it starts tonight for them. For those entering high school football for the very first time, have a blast. And for those playing and starting their final season as they put on that uniform, don't take it for granted. You will remember it for the rest of your lives. Playing in your final game, playing in your final season, have a blast, and it's just so much fun. And if you can get out to one of these games and go watch it and go support your local team, whatever that your local team is, go support our good buddy Todd Milles' new project there as he covers high school sports, VarsityWaNews.com. It's the best time of year, and Friday Night Lights is one of the best days. All right, that is Hey, What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One. Go visit them at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. All right. Thank you so much, everybody watching and listening today. Thank you to all of our sponsors. So many to thank. Limbeck Lumber, Clean Streak, Brotherton Cadillac, Angry Beaver, Georgetown Brewery, Flat Stick Pub, Restoration One. You can find today's show, The Daily Punch Up on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel when you're there. Hit that like button. It all helps. Also find the Daily Punch Up on your favorite podcast platforms as well, and everything up at PuckSports.com, including a way to sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. Also, don't forget, if you want to be in our NFL Survivor pool, Puck Survivor, go to PuckSports.com and sign up for Puck Survivor. Free cost. There's no charge. All you got to do is pick a winner each week. It's a Survivor pool. Don't worry about the spread. You're just picking it straight up. You're going to see a betting line there. Ignore the betting line. You're just picking the games straight up. Grand prize is $500. Second place is a gift card to John Howie Steak. Third place, a gift card to Georgetown Brewery. Fourth place, gift card to Flat Stick Pub. PuckSports.com. Sign up. You have until the Monday night game to get your first week's game in Puck Survivor. I went with, who did I go with this week? Denver. I took Denver this week. All right. Let's see if I make it 1 week. It'd be pretty funny if I'm out the first week. Puck Survivor. You have the weekend to do it. PuckSports.com. Everybody enjoy the weekend. Have a blast. We will see you Monday. We will recap the Seahawks, Mariners. Bill Kruger's with us on Mondays. Michael Shandugar is with us on Mondays. And Jim is back. We will recap all the action from this weekend. We'll see you Monday at 10. As always, we promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!